Good evening, Matt Wordsworth with ABC News. As we go to air tonight, Nationals MPs in Canberra are in private talks on whether to ask Barnaby Joyce to quit as their leader. Senior members of the party have been approached to form a delegation to tap the Deputy Prime Minister on the shoulder. Their deliberations come after Mr Joyce's affair with a former staffer engulfed the Turnbull government's agenda for yet another day. Our political team at Parliament House has the latest. Here's National Affairs correspondent Greg Jennett.
Day by day, the Deputy Prime Minister's bearing more of his soul to save his political skin. Nothing Barnaby Joyce said last week was enough to contain the damage or dull the distress. So now he's naming names and saying sorry to those hurt by his behaviour, his family, his partner, friends and voters. But, as political editor Andrew Probyn explains, this wasn't the apology the Parliament had expected to dominate.
Some apologies are cherished long after delivery. They're unifying.
We're all part of the same community.
And celebrated in full national glare.
Acknowledgement requires the humility of acceptance of the truth.
Then there are lonely apologies, delivered late and awkwardly.
I would like to say to Natalie how deeply sorry I am for all the hurt this has caused.
To a wife humiliated by a tawdry affair.
To my girls, how deeply sorry I am for all the hurt that it has caused them.
To daughters devastated by their father's infidelity.
To Vicky Campion, how deeply sorry I am that she has been dragged into this.
And to the mistress who's carrying his child. Barnaby Joyce is a leader fighting for his political career.
You'd have to be a mug to suggest this is not a distraction and not a problem for us.
It's going to take focus away from where the country is heading.
For now at least, nagging questions of propriety about the appointment of Vicky Campion to a higher paid job within Matt Canavan's office is being dispatched by lawyerly dissertation about what is and what isn't a partner under the ministerial code.
I've provided the description of partner, and it is essentially a cohabitation, a marriage-like relationship, hence the term of marriage or de facto.
It seems that the purpose of that tortuous explanation is to get Mr Turnbull as far away from this matter as possible.
It is without a shadow of a doubt that Vicky Campion is my partner now.
Leaving Labor unconvinced.
Does the Prime Minister have complete confidence that the Deputy Prime Minister's allocation of staffing positions meets the high standards expected of his ministers?
The honourable member has not been able to establish a breach of the ministerial standards or alleged one. If he wishes to do so, he obviously has the opportunity here.
And with the leadership of Barnaby Joyce in the balance, even the unlikeliest candidates are emerging.
There's going to be a lot of guys with their hands up, and I might just be one of those.
Self-interest has a wicked sense of humour.
Well, that's the day as our political editor saw it, but there's far more happening here than can possibly be captured by the cameras. So Andrew Probyn is back with us now. Andrew, many conversations underway tonight. What is the latest?
Well, the mood inside the National Party is most grim. The ABC understands that has been talk of forming a delegation of Nationals to visit Barnaby Joyce. Those discussions about a delegation actually went to a senior National who refused to be part of the delegation and instead chose to visit Barnaby Joyce on his own.
Now, if this were to be a calamitous ending for Barnaby Joyce, are Nationals actually canvassing the name of a potential leader?
Well, three possible candidates have been put forward: Darren Chester, Matt Canavan and Michael McCormack. Now, each carry problems associated with them, whether it's experience or allegiances, or the fact that the deputy, Bridget McKenzie, is a Victorian. So Michael McCormack is the one that many people is the smoky.
Now, next week, Malcolm Turnbull is heading to Washington. How much is the idea of Barnaby Joyce as acting Prime Minister weighing on the minds of coalition members?
Well, Liberal MPs are horrified at the prospect of the acting Prime Minister being Barnaby Joyce, and so there is discussion about whether, if Barnaby Joyce does decide to push through, that they could encourage some personal leave at least. Now, in normal circumstances, In those circumstances, it would be Julie Bishop who'd be acting PM. But she too's away, Greg, which means that the acting Prime Minister for the first time would be Matthias Cormann, who is leader of the government in the Senate.
Many moving parts, Andrew Probyn. Thanks for your analysis. Now, as we've seen in episodes before, events can move quickly and fluidly here. ABC News is keeping across it, but for now, it's back to your local newsrooms.